And we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Are you all ready for the Bulls versus the Pumas? Welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It's Friday night Currie Cup action. In a week's time, we're going to be live for the first ever. Well, first, what do you mean first ever? First, I think it actually is the first ever Springbok versus Georgia, just sort of series as opposed to a clash in a World Cup match. Having said that, so. That's very exciting, but tonight we are all about the Currie Cup as the Bulls take on the Pumas in Loftus in Pretoria. The Pumas currently sitting at 5 out of 5 possible points at the moment, looking to try and snatch another shock victory. Whilst for the Bulls, well, they're looking for their first victory of the tournament after going down against the Western Province last weekend. We'll give them their credit and stuff like that, a very weakened Bulls side. So, that's kind of why they lost. But they also lost against Benetton. So it just wasn't a good weekend for the Bulls last weekend. And they'll be hoping to have a much better time tonight. They are a much better side tonight. Jake White's back in the coaching box. So he will be leading and hoping that his troops can try and get a much better victory. Because I think, it was just a bad day for the Bulls, really. So hopefully for them, they'll do a lot better. But John, in terms of the teams, Kenny Coon says, happy with the news that Damon and Archeo clears play for SA. Initially looked like they had serious burns, would never have made it. John, that's huge. Damon in India, I think, is, let's be honest, probably one of the, if not the most informed centre in the world at the moment, and, massively important to the Springboks today. I was busy watching Squid Rugby analysis and stuff like that, and just looking at how important he is on defence and offence. He's a huge player. Archeo Snyman is a bit of a freak of nature. So, to be able to, if we can get those 4 locks fit, it's an unbelievable situation to be able to have those 4 locks at your depth. We'll look at the 2 teams that are playing tonight. Unfortunately, I've lost where I've put down the text for the Pumas, so I'll just read it out to you. But I can show you who the Bulls will be having in their jerseys tonight. It will be Gio Aplon at the back. He's come in. Jake White's very excited. He says he adds immense value to his side, not only as a player, but also as a mentor, because he's currently mentoring the 2 wings, Madosh Tumwe, Shavina Jacobs, very young players in their career. Harold Forster will be making his debut tonight. He's next to Cornel Hendricks. I think that's going to be a fantastic combination. Chris Smith and Ivan van Zyl both had pretty poor games against Benetton, so they'll be hoping to try and have a much better time tonight, as will Marcel Kutsia, who is captaining once again. Ruan Nokia keeps the number 7 jersey. Nizam Carr is in the number 6 jumper tonight. Janko Swanepoel, Walt Steenkamp are the 2 locks for the Bulls. Morne Smith, Skalki Russ, and Lizo Oboka, Nergeo Steenkamp, and Jan Grobbelaar, they are getting the weekend off the bench. Sydney Tobias, and then the very, very promising youngster, Sampiro Mantanzima, who was fantastic last weekend. Jacques Van Rooyen will have a tight head there. Then we've got Muller H, WJ Steenkamp, the 2 youngsters, Zach Berger, FC Duplessis, and David Creel. That's a much better side than the Currie Cup side we saw last weekend. That's just it's just facts, really. And I'm keen to see how they get on. I think Harold Forster is a tremendous signing, and I think that as a Lions fan, I've seen a lot of Harold Forster. So I think I'm very jealous that he's going to be at the Bulls, and I think that all I can say is that they've signed a phenomenal player, and hopefully it goes well for him, because I think that he's a really good player who, in a different lifetime, in a different time without so much depth, could have actually probably pushed for the Springboks at a couple of times. Hasn't quite gone for him, but I think that he'll do very well at the Bulls, and I think that they've been waiting for that outside centre, haven't they? Since Steban Gans has gone off to the 7s, Marco Jansen van Vuuren's been filling in there, but he's a scrum off by trade, so it's not really an ideal situation. But look, he did a job. But I think that Cornel Hendricks with a proper outside centre outside him is going to be very exciting. And I think that, as I said, I think Harold Forster is really, really good. Jake White really rates him. You know what I really rate? I really, really rate is a cold lager on a Friday night. It's been a long day. I actually had to work today, which was crap. So I'm going to pop one of those. Let me know if you have popping a beer as well. It's a Friday night, so if not, why not? Right, for the Pumas tonight, we will be seeing Devil Maritz, Simon Vestrad, and Mane Kutsia as the front row. Darren Landsberg, Peter Janssen van Vuuren will be the 2 locks. Francois Clemens, Pumzile Makondwana, Willie Engelbrecht will be the loose trio. I think Makondwana and Engelbrecht are going to be 2 very big players for the Pumas. Engelbrecht was immense last weekend. Christopher September will be partnering Eddie Fisher. I thought Eddie Fisher had a very nice game last weekend as well. Ayrton Talyard, Pure Mafura are the 2 speedsters. Matt Moore gets a start. Watched a lot of him at schoolboy level. Very big. He broke the St Andrews try scoring record. He scored 5 tries in the match once. I remember watching it. It was unbelievable. Eric Cornelius is the outside center. Devin Williams starts at fullback. Off the bench for the Pumas, we'll see Edwin Swart, Ruan Kramer, Eche Prinsloo, Brandon Valentine, Kwanda Demaza, Ginter Smuts, Wayne van der Bank, the former Lions player, and Jade Stichling. So it's a decent Puma side. But let's be honest, I think, against this Bulls side, in theory, if the Bulls just sort of play as well as the players they've got it should be a relatively straightforward match for the Bulls. I mean, they'll be targeting 5 points. It's as simple as that. They'll think that they missed out. Well, not missed out, but they had a rough time last weekend. And then getting a bonus point for them was very big for them. But they'll be looking at tonight and thinking, right, it's time to actually start getting a Currie Cup campaign off the get-go. Because they've got a nice chance now. I think they play now. I think they play next weekend. I think they've got a mid-weekend next week before they go into their bye bubble for the Lions game. So they can get 2 bonus point victories, for example, take 11 points with the first 3 games, and then go and play the Lions. It'll stand them in very good stead. Kickoff is literally a minute away. Let me make sure that my stream and everything is working. I'll take it all back. They're already there. Chris Smith is lined up. Oh my goodness, my sound's not going to be functioning. I'm not going to be able to hear what's going on from Venga, who's asking if people are all sorted. Right, so we kickoff is literally a few seconds away. Let me make sure my clock and everything is sorted. Right, so we'll end the poll there. 83% people saying that the Bulls will win. Chat wonderful. Welcome to the Forever Sports Members Club. Can say, I guarantee the Welshies and the Welsh Lions hate the side of Damon Indy. And if you start, oh wait, we've got kickoff here. There we go. Chris Smith gets things underway. And if he starts, the defense will be as official against him as a glass hammer. Yeah, look, he's just a monumental human being. Solid start there from the Pumas as Devin Williams finds touch in an early contribution. Yeah, let me get your score predictions in. We've just had kickoff here, so let's see how sort that out. So yeah, let me know what you think is going to be the score tonight.
Look out here, Ronald Hendricks, very good and direct from.
Right, solid first win there from the Bulls. So we have a first early contribution from Cornel Hendricks, who puts his head down. And now Nizam Khan. Yeah, I just think that the Bulls, I mean, it's quite unbelievable. We'll talk about it in a minute. But Jake White in his press conference yesterday was saying that on the back of last week, it's a knock on there from Lisa Koboka. That's not a good early contribution. So the Pumas will be able to turn them. Devin Williams spots a bit of space out the left. It looks like a good kick, but the bounce it'll run out on the 22. Brilliant clearance there from Devin Williams. Very nice players, Devin Williams. It can be a little bit inconsistent, but when he plays well, it definitely does help the Pumas' cause. So nice early defensive lineup from the Bulls. They won't worry too much. They've got a very, very good line-out. Their set pieces function very well. They're a very well-coached side. Interesting enough, though, Jake White was saying that maybe him and his coaching staff were a little bit guilty of not being willing to change a few things. So, and that's why he reckons Benson got the better of them. But a good line-out victory there. And it's Waboka who drives down the midfield. Solid carry from him.
Walker producing the ball nicely on the ground.
And Ivan van Zyl will go to the boot. It's a very nice win under the high ball there from Etienne Talliard. I really like Etienne Talliard. I think he's a very good finisher, very powerful runner. And it's an early penalty there for the Pumas. Not rolling away is the call. I think it's against Swanepoel. Yeah, tackle not rolling away. So, yeah, I mean, this will be a nice early chance for Eddie Fischer to try and take some points. He's asked for the kicking tee, so a very, very good opportunity for the Pumas to try and take first blood. Madosh Tamwek under the high ball there. Very well placed was Talliard. Was under a bit of pressure, but took it very nicely. And then, yeah, I think it was Walt Steenkamp and Marcel Kutsia who couldn't really roll away. And then Runakina trying to have a go at the ball. Illegally so. So the net result is a penalty to the Pumas. And Eddie Fischer, who, as I said, was very impressive last weekend, he will have a chance to take the first points of the day. Let me know who you're supporting, where you're watching from. You know, is this just a warm up for the Lions tomorrow? Is this the main event for you this weekend? Where you at? What are you at? What are you drinking? What are you not drinking? 84 share strikes it. It looks good. It looks good. It's gone off to the left, unfortunately, for the Pumas. So the only chance missed, actually. I think that probably was an easier chance. I mean, he's right-footed as well. About 10 meters in from the right-hand side. About 45 meters maybe on the angle. Chris Smith will now pump the ball downfield. And 84 shares right back into action underneath that. He's gone straight up for Mafura to chase, but it's a horrible kick. And Engelbrecht almost won it, but the Bulls have won it back. An advantage for a knock-on off Billy Engelbrecht. So the Bulls will run now. Chris Smith goes to Hendricks. He's got Nizam Carr outside him. He's got Madosh Tambwe outside him. Madosh Tambwe now puts in the afterburners, but he's wrapped up by Talyard. And it's a nice intercept there from Matt Moore. Eddie Bashir now chips over down the middle. The awkward bounce, but Chris Smith is there. And he sees a bit of space, actually. And he's wrapped up by Makandwana. Bulls going off to the left now. Trevino Jacobs, first touch for him. And there's a man over there for the Pumas, but he missed it. There's Mornay Smith. I thought Mornay Smith struggled last weekend against Benetton. And I think he's been getting a lot of opportunity, but I think that, you know, it hasn't quite... I mean, look, he's cemented the starting lineup, but I don't say he's cemented the number one spot. The Bulls just using the number one, their frontline forwards, frontline props, a bit differently to everybody else. Well, it's a good ball out there. Etienne Talyard comes in. So the Pumas have got the possession here on the halfway line. Billy Anson Fearing puts his head down. Solid leg drive from him, but he's eventually driven back by Marcel Garcia. Captain on captain there. Pumas are now looking to go out wide. There's a man down for the Bulls. Well, it's a great little breakaway from Eric Cornea, looking for the offload. Nobody there, unfortunately, but he makes some good ground. Chris September now dabs over the top. So here Aplon has to watch the going to touch. It's a very nice little dab over the top from Chris September, and that's very good awareness of the space. Sorry, it's Makondana. It's actually down, one of the Pumas players. He's up. I think it was just a bit of a knock on the shoulder, so he should be okay to continue.
He's been feeling in the shoulder for a while. Eventually it does come back, but he's the movement also. So he's back.
Right, another defensive lineup here for the Bulls. And it's Ruanok here at the back. It's a very nice take from him. And it's Nizam Carr, and that'll run straight into Eddie Bashir, who's made a nice tackle, trying to have a go at the ball, but unsuccessful.
Experimented with it under 7 flank over the last few weeks with that educated left boot. A really good kick. It's entirely from the Bulls in terms of exit.
It's a nice extra there from the Bulls. They found their territory up to the 10-meter line. Kelly Cooney says, thoughts on the news? Noel McMurray, the 2019 Under-20 Grand Slam winning Irish coach, is joining the Sharks. Massive loss for us Irish, but a big Sharks gain. So the Sharks announced their coaching staff today. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm trying to remember the third. So it's Neil Powell, who is the current Blitzbox coach. He will be taking over the forwards. Then we've got, as you'll know, McNair, who is becoming their attack coach. And it's... I don't want to get it wrong. I'm trying to remember. I've just gone blank on his name now. And the third assistant coach will be... Load. Where are we? John McFarland. So, I mean, they've brought in some serious coaches there. Meanwhile, the Bulls have been pegged back to inside their own half. But yeah, I mean, if you in case you missed the announcement, the knock on Philly Engelbrecht, we'll have our first scrum of the day. John McFarland was part of the Bulls setup, in fact, during the time when they won Super Rugby quite a few times. He's been a Springbok assistant coach. So the Sharks. Something I've been saying maybe that, I think that the coaching staff in South Africa maybe not quite up to scratch at the moment. I think that Sean Avery's not a bad coach, and I think that people have been saying a similar thing about John Dobson. They're not bad coaches, but do they have the right assistants? Do they have the quality across their coach to be able to, turn some really good players into a formidable team. And I think that the Sharks have put together a serious coaching setup, which will definitely pay. I think they'll do very well. I think that McNamara's got some phenomenal players at his disposal, especially in that Sharks backline. I mean, their wings are Mpimpi, Nkosi, and Yapenkle. They've got 3 and Fassi. 4 of their outside backs are currently in the Springbok setup. I mean, how can you? I mean, that's just a cheat code. Another reset here from the scrum, just for a change. Us scrum lovers. I'm not including me in that, by the way. I hate scrums. Please smash that like button. Let's see if we can get up to 10 likes before half time. Another scrum here. You don't imagine the Bulls should have the ascendancy at scrum. It's an early shove from the Bulls. We'll have a reset. It is the Pumas put in, so another shove like that, and I reckon they could get a penalty. But I mean, once again, we've probably lost about 2 minutes there with the scrummaging, which is where my frustration is. I think we found we lose so much time with the scrum resets and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the preparation series where as soon as it was reset, whoop, time off, reset, and the time only goes back on when you actually start scrumming again, which is a much better idea. A couple of laws coming in. They were hoping to sort of save a bit of time. Really like the idea that a 7-point try will be awarded if it's scored underneath the poles. Bit of a rugby league laws coming in as such. That we'll do a video once they're officially announced, explaining the new laws and stuff like that. Right, that looks like a much better scrum. It's a big scrum from the Pumas actually. September has to use it. They've got an advantage. Etienne Talliot shrugs off Nizam Card is brought down by Chris Smith. But front football here for the Pumas. They don't have too much space out wide. Fouchier puts in the cross kick for Mafura to chase, but here Apollon very well positioned there, and they'll go back for the penalty. Actually, a very nice scrum there from the Pumas. I think at first I thought that the Bulls had a decent hit, but you could see quite a lot of domination coming from the Pumas, and that's nice early signs because, as I said, if you want to beat the Bulls, you have to be able to pitch up front. I think we're gonna have another shot and goal here from the Pumas. Yeah, he's walking back to find stuff decent angle, so I think we will have Eddie Fouchier having another go. Yeah, it's Mornay Smith who's struggling a little bit there. It's Dieval Maritz on that side. Right, so Eddie Fouchier missed his first one. We'll now try and add some points to it. Scored 14 points last weekend in Eddie Fouchier. Very nice player. Doesn't have a great haircut at the moment, but is a very nice player as Eddie Fouchier. I think somebody that quite underrated. You're always supposed to get this sort of bit of those journeymen who never kind of managed to sort of settle somewhere. He's been a bit everywhere, but he's still. I mean, he's 23 years old, so he's got a long time left in his career. It's a decent looking strike, and that's straight down the middle. So Pumas take the first blood there. They've actually been all over the Bulls. Bulls have hardly been in the Pumas half in the early stages. But John didn't really work for Ed Fouchier at the Lions. Now sort of gone to the Pumas, and he's a good player. I think there's no reason why he couldn't be a backup fly half for one of the bigger unions. I keep saying that Western Province have got a bit of a fly half deficiency. Chris Smith with the restart there. It's a nice take once again by Etienne Talliot. He's a little bit isolated. They do manage to, support comes in on the 22, so they've got to set 22 so they can kick straight towards touch. They choose, I think they try to keep touch. They deal which literally just took the ball and went down. September getting a nicer angle for Devin Williams, who goes inside to Eddie Fouchier, so they'll kick down to the right-hand side where there's nobody down there. That's a very good kick. They found touch right up by the halfway line. Very nice from Eddie Fouchier. Actually, very good exit play, 2 phases, going to Devin Williams, who then shifted across to Eddie Fouchier. He had a much better angle. There's also nobody back down the right-hand side, so he had plenty of space. Probably could have even landed it in the infield and try to get a decent roll of the ball. Like Skalke Rasmus now will be putting in the ball to line out. Haven't watched the line yet tonight. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. On the road to 1800. First of 3 live streams this weekend. I won't be doing tomorrow's Currie Cup game. It'll be Sean. I'll be there live there for the Lions game as the Bulls. Shamina Jacobs putting a grabber in behind. Mafura almost knocking it on, but they eventually picks it up and hacks it forward. Chris Smith now looking to run. Goes off to the left. Finds Ruan Okia, who shrugs off one tackle. Now he's going in a bit of space. Cornel Hendricks is now. Comes inside. He's well wrapped up by Devil Mitteritz there. The Bulls inside the Pumas half. Smith now delaying the pass, and it's Mornay Smith. A good offload for him again. I think that's Harold Forster. I think that's his first touch of the game, actually. Quick ball there. Marcel Garcia eventually managed to hang on. Bulls almost up to the 22 meters. This is a good continuity from the men from Pretoria. Nizam Carr out wide. He's been out wide all night. Sizes up Etienne Talliard, who rides the contact well. That's a brilliant read by Willie Engelbrecht, who's knocked the Bulls back, and they've lost a little bit of space. So Harold Forster goes to the boot. Answer the ball, favors him. Is he through? Has he got the pace? Harold Forster on debut, and he's over. That is a brilliant. I said so. I said he's going to be a good signing. I said he's a nice player. Individual brilliance, something out of nothing. How's that to cap off your debut? It was a fantastic read by Willie Engelbrecht, who rushed off the line and nailed Mornay Smith in his tracks. And with the Bulls going backwards, not much on, Harold Forster decides to look up, has a bit of a chip. Follows it up. The bounce of the ball favors him. He runs straight through the middle, between two forwards. The bounce of the ball completely takes up Mafura, and he's got the pace and the power. Devin Williams can't stop him. Harold Forster goes over. Very, very well played by the outside centre. And no issues there from Chris Smith, who has the extra 2. Good evening, Renal players. Hope you're well. Hope the week was good. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how old Harold Forster is. Not that old is the main thing. Yeah, he's 27 years old. So, got quite a few years ahead of him, pretty much in the peak of his career. So I think he's going to be a great signing for the Bulls. And I think if there's one union where you can really sort of, what it is? I mean, let's be honest. Jake White is igniting a lot of careers at the moment. Cornel Hendricks looks back to his best. I think Koboka looks back to his best. I think Marcel Garcia is going to do very well. I think Albert Lowe suddenly looking like Springbok. Look, I mean, we don't know if he wouldn't have done that somewhere else, but even Marco Janssen from Furen looks a much better player at the Bulls. Some really good pressure at runtime from the Pumas, and Koboka takes it out under the pressure. So the Bulls have been pegged back. Chris Smith, right by his poles, has to put in the kick in. He hasn't found touch though, and Devin Williams has spilled that backwards, so not clean ball. Eddie Fisher will now put it up for Devin Williams to chase. Ugh. And it's a good take from Chris Smith, not marking it though. Under pressure from Talliard. So the Bulls now just inside their own 22. A nice tempo so far from the game. We haven't had any stoppages yet. Been quite end to end. Hasn't been too many errors. Most tackles have been made. They've only had one scrum, so the handling's pretty good. Ivan van Zyl there finds a nice touch finder. That'll probably go out just beyond the 10-meter line. Gonna play the side for the weekend. Hope you've been good. Yeah, it was a decent week. Just sort of flew by. I mean, I can't believe it's July next week. But July means that the Lions tour is on. Chad Swanepoel, what you drinking? I'm drinking really expensive Castle. I live in the UK. I can imagine it's pretty clear. I'm just drinking a good old Lion Lager. Can't go wrong. Thank you very much, by the way, for joining the members club. As you can see, you've got 2 members in the members club with a little icon next to them. If you'd like to join, the link's just under the video there. Lion Lager / number 17. The pride of South Africa, as they call it. So Puma's trying to go with the driving more, but the Bulls have defended it pretty well. Janssen from Furen. Yeah, it's a big hit on him by Nizam Carr. He drives him back. It's now chosen goes, but it runs straight to Marcel Garcia, and I think it's Steenkamp. Now Eddie Fisher back in the pocket, sees a bit of space towards the left. It looks like a good kick. Bounce the ball, bounces straight up. So, Madosh Tamwe almost spilling it, so he's got a bit of work to do, get himself out of trouble. And runs straight into, I think it's Darren Landsberg. Walker now, but the Bulls pay back in the 22. It's good defense here from the Pumas. Now Chris Smith back in the pocket, takes a couple of steps, and eventually he puts it to the boot and fine touch. This was actually really good from the Pumas. You know, they're keeping the Bulls back. The biggest problem though, and the Bulls are the Pumas are very good at this sort of thing, but where the Bulls are very good is when they get into the right sort of areas, they get reward for their efforts. You know, the Bulls are Bulls are the type of team that can make 4 visits to the 22 the entire game and come away with 4 tries. You know, they're very efficient. I think that's something that the Pumas are struggling. They've done very well territory-wise to keep the Bulls in their own half, but they need to start converting that into points if they're going to try and cause another upset here. Solid lineup win there from the Pumas. And Eddie Fisher, no, it was straight there. Is the call from Vasavenga. Simon Vestra not happy about that. Mate, I mean, he's thrown it in about a 45-degree angle straight to his prop right in front of him, Devon Moritz. And then he's gone and complained about that. I don't quite know what he's complaining about. It's me against his homebrewed ale, also in the UK. I need to start doing some homebrewing. I tell you, that's my next thing. I think, you know, once I've paid off a few things and life's a bit more settled, I'm gonna start brewing my own beer. Get a couple of beer kits, get a couple of kegs. Really, actually like to get into some homebrewing. Right, scrum here for the Bulls. Their first scrum of the day. Go straight down and we'll have another reset, everybody. Buckle your seatbelts because we're not going anywhere. I hate resets. Lawrence, I cannot put the game on the screen. If you want to see this channel shut down faster than Makazolama Pimpy runs the 100, then that's the way to do it. It's very illegal to show something like that. Unfortunately, if I could, I would. But I can't, so I won't. It's me again, mate. It's so good. Yeah, I said I'm keen to do it. I had a mate whose dad owned a pub, and they did some microbrewing and stuff like that. And it's a penalty to the Bulls. Another scrum that's gone straight down. So I wouldn't say they have much of ascendancy. I think we could have quite an interesting front row battle there. Right, so the Bulls have found touch just by the 22 meters. So it's an attacking line here for the Bulls. The second time that they're sort of in the right area. Did score a try last time. He's on car. It's a very flat ball to corner Hendricks, who goes outside. It's a nice tackle on him from Eddie Fisher. Nice, trying to pull with a nice carry there. But, yeah, and trying to... Oh, Vivan van Zijl's taking it quickly. They had a penalty. He's taking it quickly now. So he's going to ride up to the try line, just a few meters short. He's car. He gets driven back. It's well read. It's an advantage. I think it was offside there. Koboka now. They've been driven back to beyond the 5 meter, but they've got a penalty advantage. So even if they don't manage to get any ground, they can go back for the penalty. Pick up and go on Marcel Garcia. Ivan van Zijl now looks like they're going to get the backline involved. No, it goes to Skalki Rasmus. Big hit on him from Vele Engelbrecht. Ball's available for Ivan van Zijl, but looks like it'll be a pick up and drive on Nizam Khan. Now he goes to Swanepoel. Van Van Zyl, he goes to Chris Smith. Cornel Hendricks goes to Hale Forster, and then there's the ball. Madosh Tamwe still got it though. That steps away from one. I think there's a knock on there. No, nothing from Rasta. Still got an advantage to the Bulls. Nice carry there from Gaborka. Quick ball from Ivan van Zyl. Marcel Garcia coming with a bit of power there. Eventually gets brought down 2 meters short of the try line. And a penalty eventually comes. Decent defense there actually by the Pumas. Right, so the Bulls are kicked. They've got a 5 meter line out. Line, as I said, the lineouts are always very good. So this will be a very good attack opportunity. Then probably look to step driving more. Yep, here it comes. Drew Lokia that goes up. An advantage, 18 coming from the side. So number 3 coming from the side there. We'll be having a couple of fisticuffs here. Right, Ivan van Zyl goes to Cornel Hendricks, who goes to Chris Smith. Wide ball out to Geo Applon, he sizes them up, keeps going himself, gets brought down on the 5 meter line. Clean one on the ground, but they did have an advantage, so they'll go back for the penalty. Geo Applon's down, that's not what you want to see. He's literally just come back from injury. And it was a serious knee injury as well, so to see him down is not good news at all. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Mikhail Applon. I think his game's coming to an end. That's a huge shame. Time is off so that they can get proper attention. I mean, he's literally just come back from injuries, but out for months and months and months. Looked really good when he's come back. Being dragged to his feet, which is a promising sign. Yeah, and he's being carried off. So that's the end of here Applon's game. It'll be David Creel that'll come down. That's heartbreaking for him. I mean, as I said, to go through that, I mean, it's a long, lonely journey back from injury, and he's gone through all of that, and now he's hobbling off. It's the last thing you want to see. That's a horrible throw from the Bulls, and the Pumas have actually won it, so it's a chance gone begging from the side. Eddie Bashir's back in the pocket, and he'll look to clear, try and find touch. Decent boot touch finder, and I think he'll find touch just beyond the 22. So still a lot of pressure under the Pumas. An uncharacteristic lost the line out there from the Bulls, which doesn't happen very often, and that's good from the Pumas though, because it was a good sort of 5-6 minutes that the Bulls were sort of parked in their own half. So to not, I mean, the 22, to not concede there's a very nice victory there. 71% possession at the moment, just 29% for the Pumas. Territory though, 53% for Bulls, 47% for the Pumas, which is about right. The Pumas have actually dominated quite a bit of territory despite not really having much of the ball. They managed to pin the Bulls back in their own half for quite a while. Lawrence, the game is being shown on DSTV now. We're going to be actually doing a video on how you can legally watch and stream and stuff like that. Hopefully try and put that up in the next day or two using a VPN and stuff like that. Unfortunately, no way you can watch it for free because it is a pay-per-view company which is doing the coverage. And that's a penalty on the ground. It's Simon Vestrad. He's not having a particularly good day. And he's conceded another penalty in very, very kickable position here for the Bulls. If I was the Bulls, I would take the 3 points. Yeah, as Monster can see, points to the Poles. They've been really battling to try and convert the opportunities. So they'll point to the Poles and just take the points and run, to be honest, which is a good call. It's Simon Vestrad. He's not had a particularly good start to the game at the moment. He gave away a pretty poor line out. Now giving away a very poor penalty in a very, very easy position, very kickable position, yeah. So, not having a good game is the Pumas number 2. Sean says that it looks like the Sharks got a lesson from the Bulls, lost to Benson, got another coach to the coaching staff. Yeah, I think the Sharks have put together a really nice team there. Looks like a very nice combination of experience and knowledge of both here and there. Bring a couple of overseas experience to understand the conditions. I think it's a masterstroke by them. I'm hoping that other teams will follow suit. I feel like the Lions need to start sorting their coaching staff up. I don't even know who the Lions defense coach and stuff is. We went from having Johan Ackerman and Swayze de Bruin to Ivan van Nooyen. I actually don't even know who the other coaches are in the Lions. They lost Joey Mangala, who's now doing a brilliant job at the Bulls. Sorry, he slotted the penalty there, so let me just add the extra points. Yeah, so off the kickoff there, Chris Smith has found touch. Still sporting a bit of a black eye from last weekend. Does look substantially better than it did a week ago. So Pumas now with the line on the 22 meters. They want to try and hit back here. 10 points to 3, so still very much in the game. They've actually had a decent half, to be honest. I think that they've deserved more from what they've had of the game so far. Go to the back to the Pumas. Kleinans takes it up, but it's well read by the Bulls. Chris September now goes to the right. Eddie Fischer switches sides. Doesn't have too many options, so he runs straight into Moscow and Goborka, and as you can imagine, gets driven back, but they have managed to retain possession. Devin Williams needs to try and use this. Nope, he's busy trying to rack. I don't know why. Still available for the Pumas, but they've been paid back a couple of meters. So it's slow ball here for Chris September. Oh, the ball spilled over. Makondwan has dived over it, so they managed to retain it. No forward or anything like that. So the Pumas still have it, but only going further and further away from the try line. So I need somebody to try and get over the advantage line. It will be the captain. Big hit from him from Steenkamp. Oh, and Chris September has knocked that on off the base of the rack. That's a bit sloppy from the Pumas. It's uncharacteristic of them. Just kind of ran out of ideas. Eddie Fischer tried to switch the angle. Didn't have any options there. Didn't really have too much structure in there. Peter Janssen-Fury was a big hit on him from Swanepoel and Nokia. And Chris September just guilty of not watching the ball enough and losing the ball forward. Joshua Kane says, do you think Currie Bosch will make his move to the Stormers? I don't know, actually. I mean, the Sharks are adamant that he won't be going anywhere. It'll be interesting to see if it'll be a nice big coup for the Stormers to be able to get one back after they lost so many players to the other way around. I think that it wouldn't be the worst idea, because I think that he could use maybe a bit of a fresh start. I think that the problem is he's coming under quite a lot of fire from his own fans, which is never a good sign. A lot of people saying they don't like the way, the kicking game they play when he plays, and stuff like that. I think Butter Chamberlain and Monty Liebach, when they played, have been pretty good. They brought back Lionel Kinnear as well. It's a short-term penalty, meanwhile, for the Bulls. Well-read tackle there by Matt Moore, who takes out David Creel, who's just come onto the pitch in replacement of Gerard Apollon. He's got Goborka. That must be at least the 7th or 8th carry so far this half. Between him and Nizam Carr, they've been very, very active on the carrying front. Ivan van Zyl now lifts it up. It's not a great box kick, so it'll be very contestable by all means. I think that's a very good take by Matt Moore. My boy. He had some fear in there. This is much better from the Pumas. Running from deep, getting a bit of pace on the ball. Now they go wide to Eddie Fischer. Got a bit of numbers. They go right out to Eden Talyard, who's on Madosh Tamwe. He cuts inside. He's still going. Eventually brought down inside 22, but he's not held. So Nizam Carr has to come and make the tackle. Much better by the Pumas, who are inside the Bulls 22. Makondwana inside ball. Oh, Darian Landsberg, you've lost it forward. It's a nice run by him. It's inside ball from his captain, but they've picked him all the way back. And I think it's Devin Williams who's Rugby's all the way by himself. Eventually waits for some support. Very nice awareness from Billy Engelbrecht. He's very isolated though, so help needs to come. And it's popped out the side, but illegally so. I think there's a hand in there, so it's a penalty to the Pumas. So at least they'll get a bit of a reprieve. That was actually a nice play by them. I think very frustrating that they couldn't just hold on to it, but a nice run there, Billy Engelbrecht. He's got to go somewhere. I'd love to see where he goes, but he's far too good to just be playing for the Pumas. Yeah, it's just hands in at the moment at there. I think it's more or less Smith who's the man. He goes over. He's entitled to have a go at it, but then just sort of pushes it off to the side, which is very illegal. So there's a penalty here, and I think that they're going to go for the poles here. Eddie Fisher is well into his own half, so there should be at least 55, 56 meters on the angle. Is it the high fault, though? The ball does travel pretty far. Short of fail says, I think the Stormers need to recruit well and have players that have experience playing in the North. Either follow what the Sharks did. And Eddie Fisher's kick has gone off to the left. Not a great kick from him. So I think they'll think that they shouldn't have taken that option, looking at that now. Well, the Stormers are bringing out Jean de Jong and bringing back Dion Free. I don't think he's got experience playing in the North. Stephen Kitsos played overseas. Jean Augustus is heading there. I don't think if anybody else who's played over there. Yeah, I think that the Stormers probably need to bring in... Look, Tim Sweels played quite a lot of rugby overseas. For me, it's the centers that worry me for Stormers. I think Jean de Jong's a very good addition because I think Ricketts Pretorius and Dan Rubisi are very talented but very young. Fly half's the biggest issue with Stormers. They need to bring in a fly half. You know, even when Cade Bartlett is back, to have Cade Bartlett, Tim Sweels, and Abner van Reen, it's not really setting the world alight, is it? I think Scrum Half's another one. I think Godlem Asimba blows a little bit hot and cold. So, you know, thankfully it looks like all the Springboks should be available for United Rugby Championship, so they won't worry too much. They'll have Herschel Yankees. But it's if P. Steph Toy goes, or Jean Augustus goes, you know, suddenly that loose trio starts to look a little bit thin. Good work here by the Bulls. They've gone off to the right-hand side. Madosh Tumway's found a little bit of space. He's got the pace, Devin Williams, he's got the pace and the power. Madosh Tumway. That's not good defending from the Pumas. In fact, that's nightmare defending. And Madosh Tumway's made very, very easy work of that. He's been brilliant for the Bulls all season. But I mean, come on, that's Devin Williams. I think it was for. I don't know who missed the second tackle, but that wasn't good defending at all. They identified the space and they went very quickly. And Marcel could see it. Chris Smith, Cornel Hendricks just waited the pass. And then you've got to make this. It's Devin Williams. Yeah, he has to make the tackle. It's not good enough. Madosh Tumway strolls over. And that's frustrating because the Pumas had a really nice passage of play. And yeah, certainly. But this is why I said that we just haven't been. The Pumas haven't been taking the opportunity when they've been in the half and they've had good opportunities. They haven't taken any points from it. So Chris Smith will now have the opportunity to add the extras. I think he's due a big game, Chris Smith. I think he struggled a bit last weekend. But it's difficult to be harsh on him because he doesn't really get much game time. You know, it's difficult when you're kind of getting 10 minutes here, a half here, and suddenly being saying, right, chap, off the bat, you're going to start in the final, and we need you to go and win us a match. I think it was a big ask for him, and I think he's a good player, Chris Smith. I just think he needs a decent run of games. I mean, it's Enoch Cornelia that can't get anywhere near him at the pace of Madosh Tumway, and Devin Williams had all the time to match him up and didn't make the tackle. Dr. Kane says, do you think the Sharks will make any other big money signings? Maybe the Dupree twins for a cheeky return. I don't know what their where they are with the salary cap. They've obviously got 60 million to play with. Chris Smith missed the conversion there, by the way. So I'll be very surprised that they've got the money to bring back somebody like the Duprees. I think that a centre would be a good idea. I think, you know, they can bring some like Rowan Jans van Rensburg to them. I think they've got a couple of... I definitely think they will make more signings. Whether they'll be able to bring any internationally based players back or whether it's going to be more sort of local, you know, we wait to see. But I think that an inside centre is probably the big thing that they need, just to complete what would be a phenomenal backline. We've got plenty of scrum half depth. It's a very nice clearance from Ivan Fitzale. Apart from that, maybe a lock. Yeah, I think lock, hooker, and inside centre is probably the positions where they could strengthen now. I think Peasant Bosch is a fantastic player for the future, but he's not quite Springbok level there yet. I think locks wise, I think Aaron Andrews is good. Lady van der Mesh, I think it's taking a while to adapt to this level. Ruben van Heer is a decent player, but just not much sort of star quality there. They've got a good squad though. So very, very nice backline depth. I mean, you've got something like Monty Liebach coming off the bench. You're now going to have Lionel Currie as well. Another liner that's not straight there from Simon Vestrot. So he's having an absolute mare with his lineouts. But he's having a bit of a mare everywhere in the pitch. Pumas just need to settle down. Sorry, they actually did get the conversion. They didn't award it initially. So 17 points to 3 with 2.5 minutes to go. Now they've got a penalty. Sorry, it wasn't straight, so they've got a short arm here. Chris Smith goes straight up. Engelbrecht to very... it was a very extravagant jump up there. Eventually does manage to take it. Makondwana now with the big carries. They had quite a quiet game in comparison to last week. Maria Antonakova says Stormers need no one from the Sharks. Look, I mean, if you're a Stormers supporter, I think there's a lot of players in the Sharks out fancy. As a Lions supporter, there's a lot of players in the Sharks out fancy. Sean Phelps says, I'm saying this is as a Leinster fan, but I just think strength and depth and learning the way the rest work in the North with the laws. I think the Sharks need a little bit of forward depth. I think backline they're more or less sorted. I think if they added an inside centre, for example, they would be aces. But need a little bit of depth with the forward. I think particularly at lock and in the front row, you probably need to bring in another prop. So I think after Thomas Story and Oxen Chair, Tuka Mkuna is not quite there yet. Neither is Kuta Mkuna. It's a very good run out by the Bulls who've gone out to the right. They found a lot of space, and he's on Carr. Very nice offload. That's about 5 offloads in about 5 seconds. Cornel Hendricks now takes into contact. Oh, and Runokia, I think, has knocked it on. Mafura trying to kick it ahead, so I think it should be an advantage for the Pumas. Eddie Bashir's won the ball back on the 10-meter line. They've got an advantage for a knock-on. They go back to Devin Williams with 40 seconds to go. Why are you kicking it? Why? Have you not looked at the clock? It's going to go all the way over the touchline. Devin Williams, after the mare of a tackle, that's a horrible decision to make. With 30 seconds left on the clock, Chris Smith's kept it alive, but he's going to pump this down towards the halfway line. So yeah, the Pumas will restart with the line on the halfway. With work to do in the final 15 seconds, I don't think that they'll have enough to be able to go from here to the try line. But yeah, and I think the Pumas may be guilty when they had a bit of momentum earlier. Maybe probably should have gone to the corner and maybe sort of try and got the points there. They didn't. They opted for. I mean, they missed 2 penalties, so it could be 17-9, which is a much different game. Solid line win there as the hooter goes for the Pumas. Vestrot's got the ball at the back. That's gone down, so they've got a penalty advantage. And Vestrot goes himself. He's completely isolated. Moscow all over that ball. He will not be moved. He is moved. That's very nice racking there from Francois Clemens. Available Peter Janssen and Furen. Bashir now delays the pass. Matt Moore takes it in the midfield. And he's straight through. He's losing balance, but he's still going. He's still going. Oh, Cornier just take it. Oh, no. It was a great little run there, and if Cornier managed to take that, I think he might have been through. Brilliant run from Matt Moore, the youngster. Brush showed a bit of power and a bit of pace. They'll go back for the penalty, so they can kick towards the corner and try and set up a lineup, but it was almost a brilliant piece of play between Matt Moore and Cornier. No, they've called. I think it was advantage over, so that is half-time. Half-time score at Loftus, 17 points to 3. The Pumas guilty of not taking their opportunities because they've had the chances. The Bulls... quite complete opposite, actually. When they've had the opportunity, when they've been in good positions, they've taken their points. And it's a solid half from them. Much more improved from what we saw last week in both the Currie Cup and their Rainbow Cup final games. So they'll be very happy with that. Josh McCain says, which of the SA rugby clubs do you think will beat the British Irish Lions with the upcoming tour? I think that if you're looking at the players available, I don't know. It's difficult because the Western Province / Stormers have got a major injury crisis at the moment. I think they're missing about 15 or 16 players. So... if they can get all their players back, they'll have Salman Murat back, they'll have Warwick Land back, got a couple of locks out and stuff like that. So they can get all their injuries back. Edward van der Merwe. Then they should have a half-decent start. You've obviously got to think Bulls are the favourites because A, they're the best side in South Africa. B, they're the best. They're pretty much the least effective from Springbok point of view, apart from the Lions. I like to say that the Lions might have an opportunity in terms of not being particularly affected. It also depends on their injuries. I mean, the Lions are saying that they reckon they could be welcoming 14 players back by the time they play the Lions, compared to Wednesday. You know, Jaco Creel, MJ Palsy, Yanni Duplessis, Stian Pienaar, Courtnall Skasan. Quite a few players could be coming back for the Lions. For the Sharks, I don't think they've lost too many players. I don't think they've got the depth to be able to push them. So I think it's going to be between the Bulls and the Stormers. Stormers have got a long time to get all these injuries back, so you know they can maybe try and do something. But the Bulls, you've got to back the Bulls the most. They've got a good side. As we've seen, I mean, Harold Force is the latest addition, and he scored a try on debut. Cornel Hendricks should be in the box squad. I think Ruan Nokia, somebody should, in the future, will be in the box squad. These are Koboka, Marcel Kutsia. They've got very good players for the Bulls. Sean Fowl says Bulls, in my opinion, last week were used to one type of defense attack, like the way the Pumas play compared to playing Exeter Chiefs or Leinster. I also think the Bulls just sort of didn't really change it up. They kind of went to the same game plan, and they kind of expected something different from Barrington. And Barrington sort of flipped a few things, and they didn't really have much of an answer to it. And they're also thinking that a lot of this, they didn't really have the experience to be able to then change it up and be able to say, right, well, this is what they're doing, and we need to change our game plan. So I think a big lesson, and Jake White said there's been a lot of sort of introspective reflection over the sort of the week. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond. But as I said, I mean, I think losing Gerrie Appler now is a bit heartbreaking. But Bulls have got, I mean, if you look at this side, I'm trying to think of who the Bulls will welcome back. Obviously, you're going to have Jan Grobbelaar and Kara Steenekamp. But injuries-wise for the Bulls, they could be welcoming back maybe Albert Lowe before the Lions game. They could be getting back, who else is there? Imbrose Papier. Who else are the Bulls currently missing? Stefan Gans is playing sevens at the moment. I don't know when Johan Goosen's supposed to be arriving. He'll obviously be a very big boost for the Bulls. But yeah, we're going to take a very short break for half time. When we get back, we'll go through some of the stats and have a look at what's been going down in the first half and see who's leading what, and you know, try and looking at why the Pumas are 14 points down. So please don't go away. As I said, please do smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Right, hello. I'm back. We're back. And yeah, 17 points to 3 is the score, sitting on 1776, so getting really close to that 1800 mark. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Right now, before we go any further, please hit that subscribe button. We'll look at some of the stats for the half so far. Right, so the stats at the moment, 67% possession for the Bulls, 33% for the Pumas, and territory now sitting at 68% for the Bulls. I mean, the Pumas did very well to gain some decent territory in the early stages of the game. But the Bulls are pretty composed and kind of just sort of weathered the storm a little bit. Eventually got themselves down to the Pumas half, and they were very good at getting points when they did. You know, 2 tries, 2 conversions, 1 penalty apiece. The Bulls have run 256 meters compared to 114 from the Pumas. They've beaten 16 defenders compared to 6, 4 clean breaks compared to 2, 52 gain line carries to 23. 88 passes to 42. I mean, it's pretty much whatever the Pumas have done, the Bulls have done twice as much, really. Turnovers none for either side, actually, at the moment. Kicks from hand, 18 to 15. Tackles made, the Bulls have made have made 16 of 22 tackles, whereas the Pumas have made 66 of 83. So they've been asked to make 83 tackles compared to the Bulls' 22. So that really does wear down a side. I mean, the Bulls, to be fair, I mean, it's 73% tackle success rate. So the Pumas will back themselves so they can get their hands on the ball. But that's the problem, getting their hands on the ball at the moment. Goal kick success rate as well, 80% getting just the 1 out of 3 attempts so far. Both of them having 100% ruck success rate. The lineouts have been pretty poor on both sides. Both sides have lost 2 lineouts. Scrums have, however, been 100%. Penalties, the Bulls have conceded 6 penalties, 3 in their own half, 3 in the opposition half. The Pumas have conceded 5 penalties, 4 in their own half, and 1 in the opposite half. Impressive players. I think Nizam Carr's been quite active today, doing quite a lot of running. He's made 5 carries, 22 meters made, an offload and defender beaten, 2 tackles as well. Marcel Coetzee has been all right. He's made 9 carries, 2 tackles, 12 meters gained. Madosh Tamwe has looked quite good when he's had an opportunity. 1 clean break from him, 3 defenders beaten, 81 meters run, a try to his name, 3 tackles, and a turnover 1. Goboka's made 6 carries so far. Harold Forster on debut has made 1 clean break, scored a try, 1 pass, a defender beaten, a clean break. Hasn't had to make any tackles yet, but has missed the one he was asked to make. For the Pumas, Matt Moore on debut. We don't have any stats for him apparently, but Etan Talyard's been quite busy. He's made 1 clean break, made 44 meters, a defender beaten, and an offload. He's made 4 tackles so far, missing 2. Billy Engelbreit is usually sort of the go-to person for the Pumas. He's made 2 carries so far, 6 tackles as well. Missed 2 tackles, so it's not been the best of games by his sort of very high standards. But yeah, so I mean, look, the Pumas are definitely not out of it. They just need to be able to convert the opportunities. They did really well to peg the Bulls back, but if you can't get your hands on the ball, you can't take the opportunities you can. They had 3 chances where I think they could have kicked to the corner and tried to go for the try. And I mean, at the end of the day, what have you got to lose with the Pumas? You know, I think at early stages, you're doing well. You had nice momentum. Why not kick to the corner and say, you know what, let's try and see if these Bulls will panic in a little bit. Chas Waterpool says, British and Irish Lions might test combinations versus Lions. Will put full first choice team versus Bulls. Could this give the Lions a bit of a chance, and will Jake White have something special for their game? In terms of the Lions, like the Joburg Lions, in terms of giving a chance, yeah, look, you can be. I mean, we're going to see, as I said, I was talking about it earlier, and I think that we'll see pretty rotated sides for the Lions and Sharks clashes with the first 2 clashes of the tour, but after that it goes Bulls, SAA, Stormers. So I think after that you'll start seeing more the sort of, particularly probably in that SAA and Bulls game, you'll probably start seeing something closer to the British and Irish Lions test side. So, look, I mean, there's no reason why. You know what? The Lions are a strange team. They play a very unique brand of rugby in that they vary a lot at the moment. So it's quite difficult, in talking about the Emirates Lions, they're quite a difficult side to prepare for, because even as a Lions fan, we've got kickoff here, by the way. Even as a Lions fan, I can tell you right now that the game plan changes like on a weekly basis, and the performances change. They can go blow hot and cold so quickly that who knows what sort of Lions team's gonna rock up. So if they have their day, they've got the capacity to break down defense and put pressure on here. Speaking of, that's what the Pumas have done. They've turned the ball over here from the Bulls, who are caught napping over there, and have 1 possession back inside the Bulls' half. Darren Landsberg now running backwards. I don't quite know what the plan was there. Takes contact, but they've lost a good 5-6 meters. Bashir goes, Clements goes inside, wrapped up by Oboka and Chris Smith. Humans just need a couple of people to break the gain line down. That's been the biggest issue. It's just very, very stagnant, very, very flat at the moment. And that's a very good win on the ground by, I think it's Skalki Rasmus. Yeah, as I said, Pumas are just very stagnant at the moment, you know, very, very still. Not much go forward ball at the moment, not much sort of ingenuity on attack. Sean O'Farrell says for the Pumas should reduce the amount of penalties that they are giving away. And it'll be tongue twister when British and Irish Lions play Emirates Lions. It's going to be an absolute disaster. I still haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it. I've still got another 6 or 7 days to decide who we're going to call it. So if you have any suggestions on how we're going to go, we're going to go with the Northerners versus the Southerners, real Lions versus the seasonal Lions. The real Lions are the Emirates Lions. We're the Lions all 12 months of the year, not every 4 years. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to go with. Lions versus Lionesses. Well, Makovin opponent Bear, if that's the case, I can tell you right now that I'm not calling that the Lionesses will not be the ones that I support on a weekly basis. It's a very good carry out by the Bulls. Marcel Coetzee got into the 22 for the Pumas. That's a nice hit on Darren Landsberg. I think he was offside though, so there is an advantage to the Pumas, and there come the issues. Madosh Tumwe out wide, cuts inside, but he's wrapped up by Devin Williams. He's got the ball away though for David Creel, who's been bundled into touch. Will come back for the penalty. I think it's going to be a long day for the Pumas. They're solid enough on defense, but on attack, they look very toothless. They just don't seem to have too many options. Don't really know what to do. Chris Smith now kicks to the corner. Bulls will have one objective for this game. I mean, I don't even think they even worry about winning it now. For them, it's about the bonus point win. So they've immediately kicked to the corner to try and get that. Been brought down by the Pumas, and legally so as well. So that's a very nice more defense there, and they've been driven back. In fact, they've turned it over, have the Pumas. Very nice defense from them. Big counter ruck coming in from the Bulls. September under a lot of pressure. Makondwana now puts his hand down. It's a very nice carry from him. He relieves a bit of pressure for his side. They're still back in the 22. September goes back to Eddie Fasheer, who's in the pocket, and Fasheer kicks deep towards the halfway line. That's a very nice final. Shavina Jacob takes it quickly, goes inside to David Creel. Oh, and that's an intercept ball from the Pumas, but it's counter intercepted by Chris Smith. And the Pumas got the ball, put it this way, there's quite a few different people with the ball traveling there. Pumas have got it, they've got an advantage for a knock on. I think it was by Chris Smith there. It was almost a fantastic intercept by Eric Cornier before his pass was then intercepted itself. Cornier now on the ball. The Pumas are up to about the 10-meter line. Makondwana, he makes some more meters. He's been good tonight when he's had the ball. Bashir, the space out wide. Very nice run there by Simon Vestrot. It's available for Devin Williams, who goes outside of Billy Engelbrecht. Mafura has got the pace. Inside, he shrugs off David Creel. He's still going as Mafura. He's still going. Creel eventually brings him down. They're right on the try line are the Pumas. Quick ball for Crystal September. Vestrot. It's available again. Bashir goes to the left. Cornier puts in the dab through. Etienne Talliard. Well played. Very nice by the Pumas. That's much better. A couple of very good offloads. A perfect grab in behind them by Cornier. And Etienne Talliard grabs his second. Scored last weekend as well. He's a very nice finish, Etienne Talliard. And that's very, very well played by the Pumas. The fifth Colin Currie Cup try by the 25. I think it was 25. I checked that earlier to see how old he was. Very good hands here. Devin Williams, who measured up there. Billy Engelbrecht, who delayed his pass. Madosh Tumwe, Mafura, it's a huge hit on Richard Creel. Bounces off him. Nice leg drive. Gets away from Nizam Carr as well. He gets right up to the try line. Vestrot then carries it up, sucks in a few numbers, and you can see it's a numbers game. You've got a half a Puma side and about 6 Bulls players. Eddie Bashir goes to the back. Cornier dabs him behind. Madosh Tumwe might have actually been able to stop that. It goes straight through his legs, and Etienne Talliard was there to capitalize on the mistake. And now Eddie Bashir will kick the conversion and try and pull them to within 7 points. And I'm going to get my clock back on. I'm aware that it is now off. A good kick from them. Let me sort this time out. No, wait, half time. That's off. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wait, we've lost the score now. There we go. Right, so 17 points to 10. Perfect start from the Pumas. That's exactly what they've been needing to say. We've got Leos versus Lions. Yeah, it's just so similar. Leos versus Lions. Durban Sharks versus SA Sail Sharks. A very nice take there from Jansen and Fury. Yeah, I must give it some thought for next weekend. This is going to be a disaster of a watch along. Let's just be very frank up front now. It's not going to go well. I'll just go for the visitors. Now, Devin Williams back in the pocket. He can't go into touch. They've lost safe to 22, but he pumps that downfield. So Chris Smith will field it up by the 22. He looks to the space out left. There is space out wide left. Matt Moore now. Cornel Hendricks is wrapped up. It's an important tackle to make. I think it was Francois Clemens who made that. Now Mornay Smith gets the ball away to Steenkamp. Sorry, I was trying to pull there, not Steenkamp. Same lock, different surname. Now going to the box kick for Ivan van Zyl. This is good pressure by the Pumas. Ivan van Zyl looking for distance rather than a contestable one. Williams goes inside to Forsheer. He's got a lot of time. Can't kick into touch though, so he puts it straight down the throat of Chris Smith. He's running towards the middle. Sees a bit of space. Bounce the rugby ball. And that's a brilliant kick from Chris Smith. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And yeah, Eddie Forsheer, I think, probably underestimated that one. And that's run off straight into the corner. So that's the perfect kick from the Bulls. The Pumas will now have a defensive line out right on the 5-meter line. Brilliant stuff from the Bulls, number 10. Chester Donnelly says, if Argentina join Currie Cup, Pumas can play the Pumas. Okay, let's not make my life difficult, okay? We don't need to be having the British and Irish Lions playing the Emirates Lions, the Durban Sharks playing the Sail Sharks. We don't need to have the Pumas playing the Pumas. Or the any other Bulls players. We're going to get like the Chicago Bulls and come here and create a rugby side now, and then we can have Bulls versus the Bulls. Just be a blooming disaster. This is now the Stormers, I suppose. Right, so the Bulls now up in the middle through Skalky Rasmus. They've turned the ball over from after the kick ahead from the Pumas, after defending the line out. Harold Forster now making some ground, but it looked like it was almost stolen there by Makondwana. So it's Mafura there who's making a nuisance of himself. Mornay Smith now takes it. It's a nice hit on him. Big hit on Steenkamp there by Landsberg. Oh, Ivan van Zyl, try with a miracle pot. Well, Derhal Maritz, the loose head, grabbed the ball. He saw some space out wide. He put it down to the boot. It's actually a very good kick by the loose head. Fortunately, it was an advantage, but I'll tell you what, sign him up for the fly-off classes, because that was actually well thought about. It was a high tackle, so they had an advantage, but yeah, look, Derhal Maritz spotted the space in behind, went to the boot. And the Bulls will kick to goal, which I think is a sign of respect. The fact that the Pumas defense is holding up quite firm, so they'll take some points here. It's right up in front of the pole, so it should be no issue. I think it's Francois Clemens who made the high tackle there. Chest only sets because the Storm is a made-up word. Yeah, I suppose. There are no issues there with the three-pointer. Bulls go up to 20 points to 10. Closing in on that 17, or that 1800 mark. Just, 21 people to go. So please do keep subscribing. Smash like on the video as well. Contestable kick there from the Pumas. And Ruan Nokia has knocked it on and trying to win it. So Vida Engelbrecht comes away with it. Goes to Jansen from Furen. Eddie Forsheer now going left for the Pumas. Francois Clemens, I tell you, the forwards are putting in a lot of grubbers in here. Matt Moore chasing hard. And they've come away. They're about 5 minutes short of the 22. Landsberg now carries it up. The big content from Koboka. And he hasn't turned particularly well, but it is available for the Pumas. They've got numbers here. They've got numbers in. They can suck the right players in. Devin Williams. Inside ball to Willie Engelbrecht. Solid carry from him. The Pumas get up into the side of the 22. Flat ball for Pumzela Makondwana. He gets driven back. Good tackle by, I think it was Steenkamp and Ruben Nokia. Bashir thinks about offloading, but goes himself. Still available for the Pumas. Best shot now. Slow ball for the Pumas. The Bulls are contesting every single rack at the moment. Landsberg now. Gets inside the 22. He's held up though. Knees on the ground though, so they have to release. September goes to Bashir. What are they going to do? Cornelia has to take it himself. There's no numbers out there. They were outnumbered. They've done well actually there to make that ball available. But Engelbrecht. Bashir puts the dab in. He's still going. He's still going. It's Bashir looking for the offload. Nobody's there though. Mafua now. Support eventually comes in, so it's available for the Pumas. They're right inside the 22 on the 5 meter. There's good continuity here from the Pumas. Now they're looking to guard wide. Devin Williams throws the pass out wide. It's Etienne Talliard steps inside. Etienne Talliard, he's got his second of the day. That's it. That's it. Well, what's the issue here? It hasn't been awarded. What's going on here, Rasta? I think having a look at the forward pass here from Devin Williams, it looks like a maestro forward. It's a great finish by Etienne Talliard. He goes inside Madash Tumwe, rides the contact of Chris Smith, and puts the ball down with ease. I think they've called for a forward pass. Not entirely sure what's going on here. Francois Clemens is down getting some attention. So very nice continuity there from the Pumas. A nice couple of carries. Also a nice bit of composure there. Look, a couple of bit of lucky touches. I mean, Eddie Fischer going to the boot, the ball popping up straight back into his hands. Former FC under 20 is Francois Clemens. That was a long time ago though, back in 2011. Yeah, if the Pumas want to stay in this game, they need to try and score here. 51 minutes, still plenty of time to play, but if they can get up to 2017, then it can go either way. Yeah, I think it's a forward pass is the call, so it will be a Bulls scrum. There's Devin Williams who threw that forward pass to Etienne Talliard. Pity, because that would have been a massive moment to try and score a try. It would have been a difficult conversion attempt for Eddie Fischer right in the corner. Bertie says, good evening from Good evening, Bertie. Bulls by 7. Well, it's by 10 at the moment, but I think by 7 probably not a bad shout. Look, the big thing comes in when the benches come on. You know, the Bulls have got a lot more quality coming off the bench. Jacques Van Rooyen, Matanzima, he was a very nice player. I'll tell you what, he looked full of running, full of skills, very nice skill set. Scrummaging, we'll have to wait and see how he develops, but I'll tell you what, he's got all the skills in the world. Quite cool actually seeing all these props, you know, 120 kgs. They've got a bit of a goose step all of a sudden. Some of them are kicking, some of them have got little chicken wing passes. Not quite the Osterrans of old, and then he was the original sort of ball carrier back in the day. But things have progressed a bit. Versus better performance by the Bulls. Yeah, definitely in patches has been quite good from the Bulls. Pumas have been quite, that's a huge scrum by the Bulls, by the way. And Chris Smith will pump this down field. And the Bulls had a penalty from the scrum. Yeah, it's a big scrum from them. That's much better. That's a nice way to get away from thinking, oh, Simon Vestra, he's been planning all night. He's not having a good time. Not happy with that penalty either. He also wasn't happy when he threw the ball in at a 45 degrees angle and they said it wasn't straight. So Chris Smith will now be able to find some territory and the Bulls will have it put into the line out. Very nice kick from him. He finds touch inside the Pumas half. Yeah, it's a huge scrum. I think it's on Koboka's side. 80 people currently watching. Let's see if we can get up to 100. Please do smash that like, subscribe to the channel as well. We haven't been over 100 in a while, so it'll be really cool if we can get up to that tonight. And just 20 people shy of getting up to 1,800 subscribers. So please do keep subscribing. Clean win there from the Bulls. They've been driven back a little bit, but the ball is available. Marcel could see it from a standing start. Makes a few meters. Is brought down by Eddie Fischer. Manzel now goes to the right-hand side. Ruan Nokia gets a carry. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity to carry the ball, has Ruan Nokia. There's an advantage there from Rasta. I think it's from not rolling. Ivan van Zyl chips over the top. And it'll sit up. But they'll go back for the penalty. So, yeah, I mean, just all coming a little bit one-sided at the moment. Pumas need to work on their discipline because the penalties are going to absolutely kill them. definitely still in the game, but if they keep conceding penalties like that, it just allows the Bulls to just keep that scoreboard ticking over. Bit of a conference call. It looks like they're going to go for the corner. Bulls fancying the bonus point. Still got 2 more tries to do to get that. They've got 27 minutes though, so time is definitely on their hand. Very nice conditions over there at Loftus. This is rugby season though. You know, we're used to seeing rugby in June, July, especially in the high fault. It's nice. It's a bit warm. It gets quite cold in the evening, but it's not too bad. Very dry though. Conditions are very good underfoot, so it's the perfect weather for nice running rugby. But yeah, we're looking at the penalties here, and the last time the Bulls see a penalty was the 33rd minute. And before that, since 22nd minute, it's been all Pumas. So the penalty count really just affecting them at the moment. Right, so on the 5 meter, the Bulls, steal count goes up. It's not a clean take, but it is a take. They've got an advantage there. I think it was for playing the man in the air. Coming from the side is, I think, Makondwana as well. So the Bulls will have a free roll of the dice so they can get this ball available. Yep, Skalk Erasmus goes down. Francois Clements has fallen in a position where they're not going to be able to get that ball up, but Ivan Fatzel is digging. Yeah, that ball's not coming out. No, it's eventually available. So it goes to Koboka. Low ball for the Bulls now. Goes to Chris Smith. Goes to Cornel Hendricks. Over the top, Trevino Jacobs. Devin Williams has to make that tackle. He does make a tackle. Very important tackle there by Devin Williams. Cornel Hendricks goes down the blind side. There was no pillar there. And Cornel Hendricks was over. Very good awareness there from the number 12. Looked up. There was nobody on the blind side. Free run from him. Almost his tackled out. Nice awareness. Bit of a, sort of over the shoulder dot down from him. That's a very well worked try from the Bulls. Very nice awareness from him. I tell you what, get him in that box squad. I'm gutted he's not there. He's been very good tonight. Struggled a little bit last weekend, had limited opportunity. I mean, he went on and threw the ball out wide. Devin Williams does well to make that tackle on Trevino Jacobs, because if he misses it, it's try time anyway. But yeah, just no pillar on the right-hand side, and Hendricks spots the gap and has to go himself, and it's too late. It's Cornier there who gets sucked in inside. Cornel Hendricks who's got the pace. Gets it over. It's a very nice finish from him. Free kick here from Chris Smith, but I think that's probably a bit of a blow to the chest there to the Pumas. I think that'll knock the sails out of them, because I think that they were looking good to come back, but now 17, what was a 10-point advantage is now going to be a 17-point advantage, and that's quite a big mountain to climb. So for them, maybe getting with it on 7 would be a good result for the Pumas. Tell you what though, this blows the entire Currie Cup table open. We've got the Western Province who had a bonus point victory. They'll be sitting on 7 points. Looks like a decent kick. She comes off the crossbar from Chris Smith. Almost a great conversion from him. But the Lions are now sitting on 5 points. You've got the Western Province on 7. You've got Pumas on 5. You've got the Sharks on 5. Sean O'Farrell said the Bulls had to bounce back after a bad weekend last week, 100%. And he says it will be interesting to what reception the South African-born Scottish winger will get when he goes to SA with the Lions. Look, I mean, no fans not going to help. I don't think there would have been a hostile reception. I think people need to get over that, to be honest. I don't think there would have been too much hostility towards Duran van der Merwe. Obviously, I think within the camps there'll be a bit of a let's see if we can target him. But I think he'll be one to try and make a point, because he was told he wasn't going to make it down here. So for him to go in and make it at Scotland, I'll make it to the Lions. Good on him for doing it. Not the first. He just done had a similar story, and I think we need to start learning our lessons. And not just putting players in corners and telling them in their early career, you're not going to make it. There's lots of late developers who's gone to do some very good things. Jan Schroeder says, go Bulls, and Burris says, good win for the Lions in the week. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Jeepers, I was losing it on the stream on Wednesday. Anybody else there can verify. But we got there in the end, made hard work of it. Nice win from the Bulls from the line out. Trevino Jacobs now goes to the boot with his left foot, so they find touch up by the 10-meter line. New tight head on for the Pumas as Mane Kutsia makes way for Ike Prinsloo. Right, can the Pumas hit back? Ginter Smuts is now on for Crystal September as well. Simon Vestra still on the field. First things first, he needs to make sure he gets his line out in nice and straight. Go to the back of the line. It's a good take from Billy Engelbrecht. They're looking to set up the more here. A very nice first shove. They made 5 meters here. They've got an advantage as well, so free roll the dice. Ginter Smuts with his new haircut. They're still going. Simon Vestrot gets himself into the 22. Still got an advantage, so what will the Pumas conjure up here? Eddie Fashier, chip over the top. Bounce the rugby ball. Oh, unfortunately, bounce away. Oh, hang on. He's gone over. And Ruster's awarded it. I wasn't sure if there was a potential knock on there, but Ruster's given it, and the Pumas hit back. Very nice from Eddie for sheer. Chip over the top, and it was him and Cornelia running at, I think it was David Creel, and I think it comes off, no, sorry, it's Trevino Jacobs, who can't take it. He loses the ball forward, and it falls down. Yeah, there's a try. It doesn't come off any Pumas player. Eddie for sheer's there. He grabs it. He'll run over. And Pumas hit back after all that. Yeah, Cornelia, it's a big clash between Jacobs and Cornelia. I mean, as Trevino Jacobs is taking the ball, Cornelia runs straight into him, which is why he loses it forward, and it bounces perfectly up for Eddie for sheer, who will knock over the extras. There we go. And 25 points to 17. I said in my preview I was hoping for a high-scoring game because all the games have been high-scoring so far in the Currie Cup. Right, 25 points to 17. Game on here. My clock's a little bit ahead, so let's just quickly update that. We're 59 minutes now. Just over 20 minutes to go in the game. It's actually been quite a nice game to watch. To be fair, most Pumas games are. It's very rare that I actually don't enjoy a Pumas performance. They play a nice brand of rugby. Did he miss Smith? Yeah, Chris Smith missed the conversion earlier. That's what you're asking. Solid win there. Devin Williams now's got a lot of time to line up his kick downfield. Looking for a big touch find. Doesn't find touch. Chris Smith now going into it. Sean Fells, will you say the standard of the Currie Cup so far is the same as Rainbow Cup SA? Probably a little bit below. I think Western Province and Lions, it's difficult because the Lions played very, very well for a large portion of the game, and the Western Province are pretty poor. It's difficult because the Western Province played against a very poor Bulls side last week. Knock on here by the Bulls, so we have a scrum on the halfway line. But it's been decent. Look, the Pumas have definitely arrived with a bit of a bang. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily Rainbow Cup standards, but it's been a nice standard of rugby. It's definitely been... The Griquas didn't look... I mean, they lost with a bonus point against the Sharks, but they played quite well to the Griquas. The Pumas have looked really, really good. Put it this way, it's chalk and cheese compared to the Currie Cup we saw at the beginning of the year and the Super Rugby Unlocked. We're seeing a decent standard of rugby. And I think, if we can just keep these players in the country, and I think we do need to probably evaluate that 60 million rand salary cap and try and see if we can add on so we can keep more of these players, because there's so much talent that we are producing more and more youngsters, even with the players all playing overseas, that we've got enough players to still play really nice rugby down here. It's just a case of... It's two things. First of all, it's keeping all the players here. Second of all, it's making sure that we distribute the talent. I think that's the biggest frustration, is that you've got the teams like the Bulls. Oh, sorry, I'll say the Sharks, where you've got Sinele Nahamba, Jaden Hendricks, Grant Williams, and you've got Cameron Wright. Now, you think of those four scrum-offs. Can we not get one of those scrum-offs at the Griquas? Can we not get one of those scrum-offs at the Pumas? The Pumas are on the attack here, and Talyard makes a nice little dart there. Hang on, it's been kicked to forward. It's going to stop. A very strange passage of play where the Pumas eventually hacked it forward and they had nobody ahead of them. But Devin Williams didn't, unfortunately, the ball had too much pace on here. Nice run now by Etienne Talyard. As he gets the pass away, Harold forced to knock back, but they kick ahead and then the ball doesn't stop ahead of, early enough. Use your word, Stephen. But yeah, as I said, it's just frustrating when you see that some of these the unions are almost guilty of hoarding. I understand that they want to get the best sides, but look at loans. Why can't we loan a Grant Williams to the Pumas? I think we need to be better at distributing the talent. Good to see a lot of Varsity Cup players playing. Pumas doing lots of different things here, but it's nice to run again from Cornelia, who kicks it inside. So I tell you what, Pumas are enterprising. They're a very unique side. You never quite know what they're going to do. Nicky Ferris says, come on, Bulls, play rugby. Achilles says, Currie Cup as a South African is a very important cup to us and very special. Yeah, I love the Currie Cup, and I'm glad that we haven't had too many players going on sabbatical and stuff like that. So we've still got players like Master Gutierrez playing in the Currie Cup, Cornel Hendricks playing in the Currie Cup. Obviously, we're missing a lot of box. And when that goes down to 36 rand, that'll be a bit better. But we need to make sure the Currie Cup's a good standard. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the Pumas. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the Greekers. But we need to try and make the biggest problem with the Currie Cup is that, let's be honest, the last couple of years it hasn't been a great Currie Cup. It's been fringe players, a bit of a youngsters tournament, and there's a certain amount of attraction to that, you know, in trying to see all the next generation stuff like that, and enjoy seeing it. But you know, what we also see though is youngsters who you can see are very talented, but they're not ready for this yet, and we don't really have time for players, like for a lot of players, to try and find their feet. You know, it's okay if you've got a team of 15, you've got 2 or 3 youngsters coming through. But when you've got like 10 under 20s, you know, that's not really what the Currie Cup's about. Chester Donnelly says King should have tried to compete in the Currie Cup instead of Pro 14. That's a massive scrum by the Pumas, by the way. Very good pass there. Devin Williams, it's a fantastic run by him. He's still going. Try, here comes the try. Mafua will go over, take a bow. New Nations Pumas. Mafua smiling in the air. That is a brilliant, brilliant try. I don't know who threw that pass to Devin Williams, but you know, we've seen Stuart Hogg throw those passes, and it kind of just threw the ball into space. And Devin Williams was on it like a flash. Came in with the guns, all guns blazing, straight through the middle there. 2-on-1 situation. Out to Mafua. The Pumas hit back. That is a beautiful try. A massive scrum. Where does it go here? So Ginter Smuts gives it to Fouchier. It's Fouchier. It's brilliant. He literally just passed into the space, and Devin Williams on the angle there, completely around Stravina Jacobs, sets up a 2-on-1 against David Creel. Outside to Mafua. Easy as you like. That is brilliant, brilliant rugby by the Pumas. Game on. Game on. Bertie says, I have to say one thing, I'm a true Bull supporter, but what the hell is Van Zyl still doing on the field? Yeah, he hasn't been doing I think you guys are missing him, Bros for Pierre, actually. Also like Zach Berger, so I reckon they should probably get on him ASAP. Akili says, Greek was always a team that you can never underestimate or put down. Sometimes they pitch up with a bang and defeat the undefeated. Greek was at home are a whole different animal. Going to Kimberley, and everybody that has played at Kimberley, all the players will say that it's not a nice place to go play. The Greek was, for some reason, put up a whole different team there. It's not a great field. It's very hard underfoot. During the summer, it's very, very hot, as Eddie Fouchier nails the conversion to make it a 1-point game. The Greek was on a nice side. It's a very nice side. And it's just frustrating because, you know, it's this, and it's a problem we'll always see. But, you know, when these players do get some really good players and they get signed up, but this is what I'm saying, you know, look at loan deals. Let's sort of see during the Currie Cup. Let's see, you know, somebody like Mantanzima for the Bulls. He's going to get a limited chance of the Bulls. Go and give him to the Pumas for the Currie Cup, you know. Let's see some of these players get more game time. Versus agree, give Zach a chance. Sean Farrell says, for me, the result why it's embarrassed the Currie Cup is if you look at 4 sides, almost the top competition, sides like Pumas are not and only play Currie Cup. Yeah, well, that's the problem. As you said, the Pumas are top competition. You know, ever since the Vodacom Cup died, we've had the Super Sport Challenge. But, you know, I mean, how are the Pumas ever going to compete with these sides where you've got bigger squads, you play rugby more consistently, but they always, since Jimmy Stonehouse has been there, the Pumas have always punched above their weight. They're such a nice team to watch. Also got a very cool jersey, actually. I think I might start collecting some South African jerseys. I'll probably go Pumas, get the Greekers jersey and stuff. We've also got to get that EP King sorted out. There's so many good... I mean, I was in the Eastern Cape for 6 years. Their talent is disgusting down there. I mean, they're currently the Sharks Academy. But, oh my goodness, it's error after error for the Bulls. Knock-on first was from the Pumas, but after that, a couple of knock-on from the Bulls. So we restart with the scrum. But the Eastern Province, they've got to get that right. It's so frustrating seeing such a talented province just pretty much fall to shit because of terrible administration. But there's proper players down there. I mean, if you had Yao Painkley, I mean, you could have Yao Painkley, Kerwin Bosch, what was I saying? Makazoloma Pimpi. You know, all 3 of those players. I think the Hendrickses were originally from the Eastern Cape before they went to Glenwood. But those 3 could all be playing for the EP Kings. You know, there's so many players out of the Eastern Cape. Isn't that Kanja? I'm outside the Eastern Cape. I think he is actually. So I mean, if you had sort of those players, for example, then the EP Kings should be a really good side. But that's just administration. That's the issue. Gerard Dinabar says Pumas play great rugby, and Akili says I'm from Port Elizabeth. Good up. I was Port Elizabeth. Side's always windy. I haven't been down there in a while now, actually. It's another massive scrum from the Pumas, and they've turned it over. It will be a reset from Rasta, but it's a very... I mean, I don't know what's happened with the Pumas. I mean, But Matanzima is under a lot of pressure here at scrum time, as is Jacques Van Rooyen. Ever since they've changed the props, Pumas are suddenly back into this game. And it's amazing, when you start winning the scrums, when you start getting that sort of dominance, things can... I mean, this game's on a knife edge. We're 1 point away from either side with 13 minutes to go. Pumas suddenly look like they've got a whole spring in their step. This game has been worthy of the beer that we have drunk. It's been a very nice watch here on a Friday night. I enjoy Friday night rugby. It's nice. It's a nice way to get into the weekend, especially when you get a game like this. A bit cold this year right now, yeah, I can imagine. And Chester only says that would be great. EP Kings and Currie Cup 18 competition is better. Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, an eight-team Currie Cup with a single round. You know, 7 matches, semi-finals, finals, 9 rounds. Done and dusted. Nice and easy, nothing complicated. I mean, I don't think this double round's a good idea. I think it's too much rugby at the moment. That's a very nice handling there from the Bulls. Madosh Tumwe's down the outside, but his kick over the top goes into touch. So Pumas get away with that. I think if that had fallen into his hands, he might have been in there. Lucian Court says, come on Bulls, Birdie, cheers on the beer. Yeah, cheers everybody. Peter Blickner says, EP Kings went down when Watson... Oh yeah, I mean, the blooming Watsons. I mean, good old Puke and the buggers. Puke and Cheeky, what a combination. But yeah, I think a 9-week Currie Cup is what we need. 2 months, single round, 8 teams, but get the standard up. I mean, the Premiership's what? Is it 12 teams now, I think? Or, I think it's 12 teams. Or is it 16 teams? What are you in the Premiership at the moment? Well, obviously the top 14 is 14. The Premiership is 12 teams. Yeah, I was right. 12 teams in the Premiership. You've got 14 teams in the top 14. You get our Currie Cup sitting with 7. You know, we surely, with the talent that we just churn out on our conveyor belt in the schools and stuff like that, we can put together 8 proper sides and have a proper Currie Cup. You know, nice, as I said, keep it simple, single round. You play everybody once, and then your semi-finals, finals. So we've got a Bulls put in here. 10 minutes to go. Pumas can't afford to let them score here. Pumas definitely still in the game, could definitely try and snatch something. I mean, we've seen a couple of tries where they've gone one in from the other, so their field position actually probably won't concern them. It's just the possession at the moment. Then you get their hands on the ball in the last 10 minutes. But as I said, and I was having this conversation with a couple of people in the comments. I'll tell you what, as a Lions supporter, get Jimmy Stonehouse into that unit. Even if it's not his head coach, that's another huge scrum from the Pumas. But Marcel Garcia's come off it. He's going himself. Madosh Tumwe. He's still going with Madosh Tumwe. Makondana comes back and makes the tackle. The Bulls are 1-22. It's not great defense by the Pumas. But Tanzim now it's a big carry by him. And there's lots of space out wide for the Bulls. Chris Smith goes, Cornel Hendricks, Harold Forster, David Creel has it. No, he goes straight over. That's it. Just when they need it the most, David Creel goes over for that could be game, set, and match. That's a big try for the Bulls. Not great defense by the Pumas. It wasn't great from the back of the scrum, and that was very easy from David Creel. All they did was go out wide. Eventually saw the space, and he kind of just strolled over. Far, far, far too easy from the Pumas, but you could see the mismatch. They're calling for it. You know, trying to cut it down. I think they did well to actually force him inside you, but yeah, I mean, Cornier, it's not a great attempt in the tackle, but they are desperately trying to get up to the right-hand side. It was always going to be quite easy to just cut back on the angle. Yeah, it's unfortunate because they were looking good with the Pumas. Sharon Ninabas says, looked like the Pumas give the Bulls a hard time. They played well. And Sean Fell says, Exeter versus Harlequin should be interesting in the final of the Premiership. I say Exeter will win a top 14. I say between La Rochelle and Toulouse. I say Toulouse will win it. What time is the top 14, eh? Starts at 8:45. Starts in 15 minutes. Yeah, I was almost tempted to go live for it. But maybe we will. Maybe I'll just go live at 9 o'clock. Let me know if you'd be keen to hang out and watch top 14. Are they screening in South Africa? Let me check that first. Solid kick there. There comes the 8-point lead, so it's pretty much done by the Bulls. TV guard. If anybody in the comments can let me know, are we getting the top 14 final tonight? Time's off. Let me put my time off then. I don't see it. Am I the only one not seeing it? Yeah, I don't see it, unfortunately. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we should go live for the top 14 this tonight, eh? Yeah, it starts in 15 minutes. But it doesn't look like they're showing it. That's very frustrating. Surely they're showing it. So let me get my time back on. The Bulls making a bit of a hash of the restart. So look, it's now or never really for the Pumas. If they were to score here and be able to get back into the Bulls half, then maybe they got a chance. But it would be a massive ask for them. Sydney Tobias is on for Skalky Rasmus. Just under 7 minutes left to play. Brandon Mars is on for the Pumas. So I mean, a couple of late subs here. I mean, it must be cut coming on for 7 minutes. What are you supposed to do in 7 minutes? It's horrible. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get the top 14 final. It's pity. I would have actually. I'd be able to find a stream for it somewhere. Yeah, it's a massive black hole by Supersport not to be able to get that. Waiting for the bunk on the field now. So for the Pumas, as I said, it's now or never. It's now or never. They can score here, get themselves a chance. Demaza looks like quite a big chap there. Pumas have got the ball and they won a penalty. So decision time here for the Pumas. They've won a penalty. Do they go for goal? And yeah, they are. They're going to go for it. Without no Premier Sports started coverage of the top 14. Yeah, it just doesn't look like we're going to get it here, unfortunately. Yeah, well, let me know if you'd be keen for a watch along. I mean, it starts in 50 minutes, so we'll probably start it a little bit late. Let me know if you're watching, if you're keen. I'll see if I can find a stream, then maybe we'll go live a bit later and watch that. It all depends on if I can find a stream or not. Sky Sports at the top 14 final. I actually get myself a Sky subscription, to be honest. So I can watch it. But yeah, so they've nailed the kick. So the Pumas are giving themselves a chance here. 32 points to 10-7. Let's just focus on the last 5 minutes here. Talyard under the ball. So what the Pumas can't afford to do here is to really give away the ball. You know, they kind of need to work their way from back to front, which they can do. They've got the capacity to do. They're inside the 22. They've got just under 5 minutes to go. But Devin Williams is now going to launch this up. Solid carry there by Currie. The Bulls have got possession. Yeah, I mean, look, they've still got time to the Pumas try and win the ball back, but I mean, the Bulls at the moment are just going to. Oh, hang on, Harold forced us to put it to the boot there. Devin Williams being pinned back. Doesn't have much angle to work with, so he does go to the boot. A fantastic kick there. That's bounced perfectly for Devin Williams. They found touch right by 22, so that's actually turned out to be a great option. Right, so new pressure situation here. As the Bulls line out, Sydney Tobias has just come onto the field for the Bulls. Sky Sports. We all agree. Oh yeah, so Sydney Tobias has burst through. Yeah, it's a solid win by the Bulls. Zapbergen now on the field, going to the boot. 3 minutes left here from the Pumas. And the Bulls have won it back. Have they knocked it on though? No, they're playing on. Waiting for the bunk now. He's a bit of space. He's still going. He's waiting for the bunk. A nice carry. Gets up to the 10-meter line. Pumas have got 3 minutes to try and find an opening in this Bulls defense. Ready for sheer. Goes on the inside. Into Smuts. I mean, out of all the people to try and carry the ball up into Mantanzima, and Jacques van Rooyen has turned it over. I mean, shocker against the scrum off. Sydney Tobias now. So the Pumas have lost the ball. 2.5 minutes to go. They're right by the touchline though, so they can try and force the line out. Marcel could see it now. That's a very nice carry from Makondwada. Really. Oh, and they've turned it over as Currie. Yeah, well done, Currie. Take a bow. The Pumas have turned it over. 2 minutes to go. Can they dare to dream? The Pumas dare to dream. Ah, and they've lost it. They've turned it over from Harold Forster. After all that, and he's rolled horribly. So the Bulls have won it back. Well, take it all back. Don't dare to dream. Cancel Christmas. Matanza now. Oh, with a little goose step. I love it. Chris Smith now. We'll kick it in behind. There's nobody at home. How will this bounce? That's actually gone too far. That's gone too far from Chris Smith. That's a mistake from the scrum off. The bounce of the rugby ball, hey? Ah, it can absolutely mess you up. So, scrum time for the Pumas. And they've actually been very good at the scrum. So, they can force a penalty here. Kick towards the corner. Give them a late chance. Don't write the Pumas off just yet. Literally just over a minute and 5 seconds left to play. 65 seconds left. Can the Pumas snatch something from the Bulls? I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. Sydney Tobias down at the moment. Doesn't look good for him. He's literally just walked onto the field. Josh Tamwe also down and getting some attention. Right, so yeah, I mean it's now or never for the Pumas. Literally, they've got a last ditch opportunity. Right, time is back on. We're into the last final minute. It's a Pumas put into the lineup, into the scrum. Get it right. Well, they win it. Currie now. He gets up to the halfway line. It's a nice carry from him. Ball protection is key here for the Pumas. Ball protection. Protect that ball. Like your life depends on it. Engelbrecht. It's a solid tackle on him on the halfway line. They go back to the left. For sure. Goes to Devin Williams. Gets up to the 10-meter line. It's a nice carry from him. They made some good yardage to have the Pumas into the Bulls half. There goes the hooter. For sure's found a gap. Namaza, Jacques van Rooyen almost managing to turn that over. And have the Bulls done it? Have the Bulls done it? Oh, they've won a penalty. Oh, they've done it. Well done to the Bulls. Pressure situation. That's Jacques Van Rooyen that's won them the game there. Very good turnover there from the former Lions prop. All the experience in the world. Okay, we're going to have a look here. So it's not all is not lost just yet. So looking at a dangerous tackle on Willie Engelbrecht. So all is not lost just yet. We could have still yet have some late drama, because if this is correct from Rasta, then they'll actually have a penalty, which means that the Pumas can kick to the corner. And if they can kick to the corner, well, I'll tell you, game is still very much on. Nah, it's nothing in it. I don't think this is going to be a... So we're having a look here. It's Jacques Van Rooyen. The tackle's fine there. No, it's nothing. I don't think there's anything in this. It'd be very harsh if they were to give this. I mean, they say it's contact to the hair, but my argument is it's already going down. It's a very straight. I don't know what they're looking at here. I think it'll be quite harsh if they judge this to be a high tackle. Yeah, penalties. The penalty's going to stand for the Bulls. That will be game over. Well, heartbreaking for the Pumas, but credit to them. They were very, very good tonight. They were worth every penny, and they pushed the Bulls a long time. Bulls, they got their bonus points, so they got what they needed. But the Pumas get a losing bonus points, so they'll go to 6 points from 2. Look, I think if you told the Pumas you're going to get 6 points from Lions and the Bulls, they will certainly have taken that. And you know what? Don't discredit this Puma side. There's something happening up there in Nelspruit. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Literally, we're 17 people away from subscribers, and I know that 17 of you aren't subscribed. So if everybody can just smash that subscribe button right now, let's see how close we can get up to 1,800 subscribers. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. It's been a fantastic evening of rugby and Loftus. I might be live for the second half of the top 14. We'll see. So just subscribe and click on the notifications and see if we can come hang out later and maybe watch a little bit of top 14 rugby later. But thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen. Do subscribe, smash a like on the video. We'll be back tomorrow for Currie Cup as well as the British and Irish Lions. So make sure you come and hang out. Thank you.